Hi, hello, Uni here. And I wanted to take a few minutes to drop in with you today. I've been in this transitional window um, the last couple of months as I've been really contemplating all the parts and pieces of life that have come together over the last few years. So I wanted to try to articulate, I feel like I've been overthinking this conversation with you all because part of me wants for it to be so perfect and for it to make sense and for everything to really translate because that's what branding and marketing and having a business and being successful is. But then the other part of me just wants to be real. And the realness is there's so much clarity and there's so much confusion existing all at once. But in this and through this, what has come to surface and come to be true is that I'm really ready to kind of let go of some of the identities that I picked up over the last few years that I tried on for size, so to speak. Um, a big part of my personality and the way that I exist and the way that I not only grow, but the way that I create, the way that I play, the way that I connect is through experimentation, is through curiosity. And this frequently leads me down paths of pursuing something with so much passion and so much intentionality and so much devotion, and then one day being done with it. And for so long, I felt like this was a flaw. But more and more lately, I'm seeing how much this is a strength because I've collected so much knowledge and so much experience and so many stories and so much wisdom that I feel connected to almost anything and everything. I feel this confidence and this comfort with intimacy as a whole because I've intimately experienced so many things. And that feels confusing because intimacy is supposed to be XYZ. Like a business is supposed to be blah, blah, blah. Like things are supposed to make a certain type of sense in order for us to dedicate and devote time and attention and care and heart and soul and passion to it. But even more than all of the identities that I've expressed, being a doula and being a photographer and being a practitioner and a facilitator and all the things that I do, the thing that feels truest to me is being an artist. And so much of my art form is not about an end product, it's not about producing a painting. It is about being present in the experiences as they are and translating that into something that transforms the people that it reaches. And that is my art form. That is the art that I create. That is the art that I do through photography, through writing, through conversations, through education, through experiences, through movement, through dance, through play, through kink, through making and singing and feeling. And so I started thinking about what do I want to do with my time? How do I want to spend my life? Around this time last year, as I started to approach my 40th birthday, I started having the conversation with myself of what do I want to do with the second part of my life? And I entered that conversation with so much clarity of I want to do these big grandiose things. And those things still remain. But the biggest thing that the biggest commonality is that I want to move with less fear and more certainty. Not not certainty in a way of I know what I'm doing, but a certainty that I am moving in a way that is authentic and true for me. And a lot of that has unfolded over the last year, that what is authentic and true for me is deep intimacy, is love, is play, is purpose and passion. It's art. And as I've been trying to stay contained to the space that I've created with Sensory Playspace and not move away from the foundation and the expectation that I not only set for myself, but that I created by sharing, I have started to feel suffocated. Not because I don't want to talk about the topics that I have, they all feel very true, they all feel very capable of being carried over to the future. What it is that I want to experience and share more. I want to do this in ways that feel provoking and powerful and exciting and creative. I want to bring people more into their truth through their pleasure, through their body, through the way that they build relationships, the way that they create, the way that they take chances and rewrite stories and heal. All the things that I've been doing are so true, but I feel a different articulation and expression and need to take up space in a slightly different way. And so I started to really check off what has felt most powerful and appropriate and honest for me. And some of the things that have come to surface have been the way that I create experience, the way that I create connection, the way that I create clarity. So, really being able to see, envision, and share, not from a place of knowledge that I've gained in books, but from the wisdom that I feel from the experiences that I have and the things that I receive from the people that I interact with. I have this desire to bring this like messiness to this technology space, to make it imperfect, to make it more human, more real, more raw, to remove some of this emotionless, Botoxy, feely space that we've created, this mega beast of like, ugh, with the internet. Like there's just this like cold pulse that exists in the internet. And the emotions are fake, the expressions are fake, the edits are fake, the editing makes it feel fake. Like there's this way that even right now people are exploring making photographs grainy so that it can feel more interesting, when you can just take a fucking grainy photo and in real time make it interesting. So I'm just thinking about how we've worked so hard to be so perfect, so put together, so polished, without missing a beat, without messing up the words. And we edit out and filter out so much of life to create this like addictive, responsive attention span where we carry that over into real life and we can't relate to the humans right in front of us. I just want to create a way to connect with the people in front of me, but also to be able to connect with all of you, to create these tidbits of information and inspiration and just mind spins and expressions from people's hearts, people's passions and purposes, conversations that provoke us to become more of ourselves. I want to create this in ways that don't demand perfection and don't take away from the artistry of being present and being here together, of feeling an honesty in the intimacy that's being created, not this manufacturation, but really bringing some truth and some vulnerability back into it. What I've really been enjoying over the course of the summer, mostly, but really the last year, is how much deep connecting is happening for me and with me and around me, whether it be the people that have chosen to show up to my classes, to sessions, to the mentorship space, the people who respond to my writing that I post here on Substack, the ones that come and like open up in the chat, looking at the in-person conversations and experiences that I'm having, and really losing myself in the time that exists right in front of me. And that feels scary because it decenters this productivity and this perfection and this sense of urgency to be somewhere else. And it allows me to just exist and be. And a lot of times I'm existing and being all alone, even whenever I'm with someone else. But here lately, I've been connecting with people who could exist and be at that depth with me too. And it's sparked a new level of passion and commitment to the art that I create and the way that I create it. And so, as I move into kind of ending this chapter with Sensory Playspace, letting it dissolve and maybe come back in a new shape as something else, I have some ideas of where it could go. But as I kind of let that go, we're going to start to bloom into Slow Deep, which is a space that I feel really excited to share with you. It's a space that I really feel is a deeper part of who I am and a more robust expression of the type of art that I can create. Slow Deep is a deep dive into the layers of being human through the intimate lens. And whenever I first started allowing myself to explore my work with intimacy, it was through photography, and it was through photographing friends in my living room, in their living room, in an intimate way. And I started that vision from a place of a project that I called Not Without Dirt, because I really wanted to document people's intimate parts of their lives. I went and sat and had 4 hours. I spent 4 hours with a family and documented what a typical day looks like for them. So, stay at home mom, 2 daughters. They do art and activities in the backyard. They cook dinner together. Husband comes home. He cooks dinner, jumps in, cooking dinner with them. Then they go to the beach and do beach things for sunset. And I remember documenting that, and I had a few other experiences like that with families because I was also exploring being a doula and allowing myself to put out the call and see who responded. And through these experiences, I really saw layers of what humanness is. You know, there's always going to be a level of performance when we are being watched, when we're being witnessed, when we're being documented. But I think that there is also a truth that can be revealed when we slow down and we allow space for depth. to come to surface. And so slow deep feels appropriate for the path ahead for me. I really want to spend the second half of my life being a little slower, giving space for things to unfold, paying attention to the intricacies and the details, not from a level of like perfecting, but really amplifying the things that people don't see, giving voice to the things that people are afraid to feel, inspiring through the palpableness of the digital space, not from this perfectionistic lens, but from really being able to translate intimately what it is to feel. So, Slow Deep here on Substack will continue to be my writing. And with every bone in my body, I'm going to push myself to dissolve some of the corporate marketing yada yada, as I feel that I've been kind of leaning into that challenge. I really want what I create to feel personal for me and to be received by you in a way that makes you feel connected to something that you can relate to, that you can believe in, that you can be inspired by. I don't want to be a product. I don't want to be something to be consumed. I want to be an experience. I want to be as honest and real as I can without the agenda to survive. I mean, and there has to be that included because capitalism, because the way that the world works. But I want your choosing to be here. I want your choosing to engage, to listen, to share, to come from a place of truth for you. Because I want to be true to me. And I want for the things that I put out into the world to have purpose, to have passion, and to have heart. And so I really want this transition to bring to surface all of these possibilities. I really want for the way that I exist and express to feel like art, to be the art of my life. And so I will be offering things from the survival stance of capitalism. But really, the thing that is here for you to experience most is a reflection of yourself. I hope that this space that is unfolding ahead gives breath and room for you to feel inspired, to feel connected, to feel empowered, to feel liberated, to find your truth, and to live and to exist and to create and to open to who you really are. And I hope that I can continue to do that as time progresses with you too. So, this space will always be one that is a little bit liminal. It'll always be a little bit in between. It will always be a little bit transitional. And I think that I am finding comfort in the fact that I am ever changing, which means my brand is ever changing, which means the way it's experience is ever changing. I'm not trying to build something that is franchisable. I'm building something that is real for me, that gives you the ability to experience that too. This is my art. And so I hope that whatever unfolds ahead, at any moments that you experience it, whether it be once or whether it be multiple times, maybe you come back every single post, who knows? But I hope that it gives you what you need when you find it. And I hope that along the way, I can continue to enrich the way that I create, that doesn't follow trends, that doesn't take me away from what is authentic and true for me, but really just supersedes all of the noise. That's not the right word, but that just like muffles all the noise, takes it away, and creates this foundation that is fluid. So, this is what I wanted to say in parts. Maybe I'll come on here again, maybe I'll share more soon. But Sensory Playspace is coming to an end, and Slow Deep is evolving. So, over the next few days, you'll start to see the changes of the names and places and things. I want to get ahead. I have the energy to do it. So, I think I was trying to do a whole professional launch thing August 1st, blah, blah, blah. But I think I'm just going to go for it because I have the energy and I have the focus to do it right now. So, over the next few days, you'll start to see things kind of shift in shape. And I'm really excited to just start unfolding this next chapter with you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening and sharing and liking and commenting in your DMs and all of the things. Because most of you that are here, at least in the Substack, are some form of creatives. And we all know that the ability to create takes courage and resilience and a sense of self that is stronger than the insecurities we feel. So, thank you for continuing to not only uplift me, but inspire me. And thank you for exploring this ever flowing transition and creative process.